Women taking solo trips, something that I wouldn't recommend, but hey, you know, I guess it's depending on where you're going to, right? I would recommend being careful depending on where you're going to. This chick here says Dominican Republic safety advisement, trigger warning. Check it out.
I got to this country 12 hours ago, and I'm already going back home. What I'm about to say is kind of important. Um, I've been looking forward to this trip for the past 3 months. Yesterday, I woke up at 1 in the morning to drive to the airport, and I have not fallen back asleep since. It is now 9 in the morning the next day. Okay, yesterday, I got to the hotel, and the guy who was helping me bring my luggage up to my room, he says to me, "Oh, you're here by yourself?" I said, "Yeah." And he's in my room at this point. And he says, "Okay, I'll be back later. We can share this bed." And I was like, "No, thank you. Very funny." And he was like, "No, I'm being serious. I'll be back later. Just wait for me." And I was like, "No, thank you." So he leaves and we let me lock the door. And then I realized there's no lock on the door, no inside lock. It's only the outside lock, so any employee can get in with their key. And I'm like, oh my God, that's fucking scary. Um, so then I start walking around the resort, checking it out. I go down to the beach. This is 10 minutes later. This guy on the beach is trying to sell me weed. And I said, "No, thank you." And he says, "Why don't you want me, baby? You're so beautiful. You can smoke with me. You can be my wife this week." And I was like, "I'm okay." And I keep walking. So he comes up to me, he puts his arm around me, and he like tries to hug me like this, and starts putting his arm like down my body, and I'm like, "Get off of me! Why are you touching me right now?" Okay? So I walk away, I'm like, I kind of run off. I make eye contact with the woman, hoping that she notices me, but she doesn't. So I go to the pool, because there's like 100 people over there. Like, yo,
This woman is in panic and stress. She's barely able to tell the story without almost being at the edge of having a panic attack and breaking down.
and I just sit and I'm dangling my feet in the water. I'm just chilling on my phone, doing whatever by myself. And this dude comes up to me and he sits down and he's like, "Why you all alone, baby?" And I'm like, "Why are you calling me that?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just waiting for my sisters. They're in the hotel room. We just got here, so they're just still getting ready." And he's like, "Okay, yeah, yeah. Want to come swim with me?" And he gets in the water in front of me, and I was like, "No, thank you. No, I don't want to swim with you." So he gets in the water and he starts trying to pull me in and starts putting his hands right here. I'm right here on my body. And I'm like, "Get off of me. I'm not swimming with you." And he just kept trying to grab me. Like, he starts grabbing me to the point where he's like grabbing me. So I kicked him. I'm like, "Get off me." I start kicking him away. So this is 45 minutes after I get to the resort at this point. I went back to the hotel room. I'm like, I'm not leaving for the night, but I'm terrified that this person is going to come in here. So I put the chair in front of the door and I ordered room service. I didn't walk around the resort. I didn't go to a restaurant. Nothing. I
That's
ordered room
crazy.
service. The guy comes in and he's holding the bag. Or he knocks on the door. He's holding the bag. I open the door and I grab it from him. He's like, "Can I come in?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Okay. Um, why did you want to come into my hotel room?" So I don't feel safe there. $500 later on a new flight, $2,000 wasted on resort stays, and I am leaving. I am 90% sure at that resort when you go by yourself that it is like code for being a whore. I don't know. So if you're coming to the Dominican Republic, cancel your flights and choose to go somewhere else because it's simply not safe here. Not for us single women anyway. I don't know.
All right. So here you see this woman in panic. This shouldn't be the norm anywhere. And no place is perfect. I understand that because I have to give that disclaimer before I say what I'm about to say. And also, what I'm about to say doesn't mean that I am insensitive to what this young woman went through. I think it's terrible. I don't think you should be in a position where men are grabbing on you, telling you they're going to sleep with you in your bed, so on and so forth. And they're men out here who are predatorial in that way, and there are chicks out here who are predatorial in that way. And when I see people who just don't understand that on this channel, I just block them. Right? You just get blocked. But I do want to say this. What I do think is interesting about this is you are seeing firsthand how safe you really are here in the States. I recently reacted to a video, and it was a woman who was talking about how women, American women, are oppressed. And you hear women in a country where they have more rights, the same rights as any other individual in the country that they live in, right? There's nothing you can do that a man can't do that is just goes against physics and science. If you want to pursue something as a woman in the States, you can pursue it. You can do it. You can call the cops. If you have someone's face and they're touching you inappropriately and you have the proof. And sometimes you don't even need the proof. You just need as many witnesses as you can get to say, I also experienced this at this hotel, or I also experienced this with this particular person. And you hear women here say they are still oppressed and life is still horrible and they're still devastated and miserable. And I think to myself, I think every woman needs to go experience, not this, but they need to experience hearing somebody tell their experience from another part of the world to understand how good they have it here in the States. Not that they need to experience this again. That's not what I'm saying. And I know, right? The feminists are going to listen to this and go, well, we should be perfect. Men should never do this anywhere. That's not the point of this video. I'm trying to say this. She feels safe in the States for a reason, as compared to a country or the particular hotel that she was at, a resort, as a single woman. Now, I don't think every part of the Dominican Republic is like this, but I have heard a lot of people talk about the unsafety they experience there. I would not encourage, when I hear chicks solo traveling, I assume that there's a good majority of them who probably understand and they've been doing it for a while and they do their research. And then I assume there's a portion of them who are just walking into danger, not realizing what they're getting themselves involved in. What if she couldn't escape? How could she press charges? What if the worst happens? I don't know. Overall, I'm glad that she's okay. Let's read a few of these comments. Top comment says, name of resort, oceans, blue, and sand, Dominican Republic. Somebody else here added, baby, you shouldn't have told anyone you were alone. What are you doing there alone anyway? Remember, Natalie Holloway, R.I.P. Who's Natalie Holloway? We're going to check that out here in a little bit. Somebody else here added, definitely want to call and ask why the workers asked to go into the rooms. Here's somebody else who says, tried to call them and it just goes busy signal. And so they're just ignoring, right? And they're in a different country. So like, what are you going to do? Somebody else here says, did you intentionally use the word baby after watching her video? Somebody else here says, exactly. I was thinking the same thing. Okay, whatever. Somebody else here added, everyone's saying, never tell someone you're alone. How about we teach people to not be creeps instead? And here lies the delusion of modern women. The goal of changing the whole world and thinking that you're going to create heaven on earth. Boy, oh boy. Go do it. Come back and report back and let us know how that went for you. Here's somebody else who says, never tell anyone you're alone. Here's another person who added, demand a refund, post your experience or whatever online. Review app, contact whichever government agency flags the travel advisories. This is absolutely horrifying. Please find a travel buddy and research what places are safe. Good luck on your next vacation. Here's somebody else who says, the first guy told every one of them. Another person here added, listen to me right now. I'm a mom, and as a mom, I am so beyond proud of you for recognizing the danger and getting yourself out of there. I'm so sorry that happened to you. It's not your fault, and I'm so glad you're safe. Here's somebody else who says, you walked away from $2,500, but you have your life, which is priceless. That is true. That is true. And this is why a man is also important. I know people don't like to hear that. Or a second person, right? Either one is good, because any man who's with his significant other, they will know they will have to kill to get to his woman. I am interested to know who this chick is. What was her name? I had it pulled up here. Natalie Holloway. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, okay. Here we are.
Nearly 2 decades after Alabama teen Natalie Holloway vanished in Aruba, her mother learned for sure what she always suspected.
The body of Natalie Holloway might have just been found, and justice might finally be served. In 2005, 18-year-old Natalie Holloway was murdered in cold blood by Joran van der Sloot, and things aren't looking good for him. Not only are there countless proofs of the crime and his own taped confession, but he has also been charged with murdering another young substance smuggling within the prison system. and selling young to be used as escorts under the guise of a modeling business. Now, there have been rumors going around that where he disposed of Natalie's body has been located. So what happened to Natalie the day she lost her life? And did Jordan really commit the murder? Join us as we reveal everything about the Natalie Holloway murder case and other related cases Jordan cannot escape from. The unexpected death of Natalie Holloway.
All right. It seems like one of those AI videos, but I got the gist. Crazy stuff. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Of course, guys, curious to know what you think. Comment down below. Be careful. And I mean, especially to women who are out here solo traveling. Of course, guys, curious to know what you think, as always, of all topics that were covered. There's going to be more long form comment on this channel. And to my currently engaged and soon to be married men, if you're getting married soon, listen to me. There's no reason why you should not have already headed over to fathershaverights.com. If you're interested in a prenup but don't know where to start, head over to fathershaverights.com or click the link into the top of the comment section and get access to the guide that shows you how to get a prenup that's solid and legally binding. We cover every step so that you don't make any mistakes when approaching your prenuptial agreement. Appreciate you. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.